Can we bring in our special guest?
Oh, boom.
There he is.
He accidentally popped up
I know
earlier.
he did, but yeah, it feels like not an accident, though. You know what I mean? I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers, and this is This Week.
This Week in Recruiting.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowerScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter, Next Level D1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express would hit right now.
That might be the move.
Chicken Express, we love you. We mean that like sincerely. I hope they know now from being the sponsor of this segment long enough that what we say is sincere, and we actually do love Chicken Express. So thank you, Chicken Express. I love you.
I also love Chicken Express.
Perfect.
That's all we needed.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, Next Level Athlete. A lot to get to this week. We just spent the weekend with him in College Station, or not College Station, usually College Station.
Usually it's College Station.
In San Antonio for the THSCA Coaching School and Convention. So a lot to get to in the recruiting world. We're going to start with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise is 2023 Lovejoy offensive lineman Noah Gardner. Noah Gardner clocking in at 6'5", 265 pounds. Picked up a flurry of offers this week, including Tulane and Navy. He's already got offers from places like Louisiana Tech. Texas State is in on Noah Gardner as well. He's a first-team All-District guy and a guy that obviously had a program that's had a lot of success there in Lovejoy. And all of a sudden, this is a guy who's rising to the top of a lot of recruiting lists.
We talk about a lot of guys with the high upside, and this is certainly one of them. Really was the anchor of that offensive line. It was a very, very good offensive line at Lovejoy last year, too. They racked up a lot of wins. They were equally adept at running the football. They could also throw the football, so he's well-versed as a lineman who can do a little bit of everything. And it's great to see his recruitment start to take off because he's one of these guys at 6'5", 6'6", in that 260 to 270 pound range that could add a lot more weight to his frame once he gets in a college strength and conditioning program, and that's going to benefit him a lot. And there are some pretty good schools starting to pop on him. I think Tulane is a great indicator that he could play successfully at a number of programs at the next level, but also boast the academics as well, because Tulane is a school that also prides itself on getting great student athletes within the program. So Lovejoy, they're going to be good again this year. I mean, they've got a ton of talent, great wide receivers, and the offensive line is going to be back again.
The week is actually our private school cover boy in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. It's Colleyville Covenant Christian 2023 defensive end Eno Etta. Eno Etta committed this week to Michigan. It sure seemed like he was going to go north. He narrowed it down to Michigan and Michigan State. He ends up breaking Mallory Hartley's heart and going to Michigan to sign with to commit to the Wolverines. He's a 4-star. We got him number 30 in the DCTF Hot 100. And this is a guy who his story is really interesting. I hope you'll read it in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. And it's easy to see how good he is right now and imagine just how high that ceiling might be.
A win for Scoops, though. In this one, Scoops was able to pick up a win over Malpow in the Etta sweepstakes. I really do like his upside. He's a long-arm defensive end. He's been playing private school competition. I think that he's going to be able to translate well up to the college level as well. Basketball guy who has really learned to be a great football player. Has limited reps on the field as a football player, but is really starting to come into his own now that this will be his 4th full year playing high school football. So big pickup for Michigan, and a guy who I think in a couple of years you're going to put him in, the all-conference type of category. He could really grow into that. And when you're talking about just overall athleticism, I think those are the boxes that he checks. And if you're a Michigan fan and you're listening to this podcast, you should be really excited about what he's bringing to the table. He's one of the top 2 or 3 private school kids in the state this year.
Yeah, he's a star, and he was an easy choice for our private school cover boy in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Got a pretty remarkable story, and yeah, only been playing football for 3 years, and so you get some polish on him, and the sky is the limit for Eno Etta, the new Michigan commit out of Colleyville Covenant Christian. We're talking This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers and Next Level Athlete here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Let's roll on to our Underclassmen of the week, and let's stay in the private school ranks. Talk about 2024 soon-to-be junior quarterback Sawyer Anderson at Parish Episcopal in Dallas. And he is heating up. I'll say that. He picked up an offer this week from North Carolina. He's already got offers from places like TCU and Tech and SMU, plus a bunch of other places like Arkansas, Mississippi State, Colorado, Oklahoma State. He is a guy who we've got as a top 25 prospect in the class of 2024, and a rising star that I think it's easy to see him on everyone's short list whenever it comes time to talk about 2024 in a serious way.
Yeah, and that's actually even better for Sawyer Anderson. He's 2025. So, I mean, I'm having a little bit of a DCTF/THSCA convention hangover with the typo.
Oh, he's 2025?
Yeah, he's a 2025 guy. So he's like after Preston Stone, Dallas Parish Episcopal was able to find a guy to come right back in on top of him and be a freshman starter, and they're going to be able to have him for 4 years. How about being a head coach or within a program and you don't have to worry about who your quarterback's going to be for an 8-year span?
Jeez.
Come on. That's sick. He passed for 2,961 yards as a freshman last year. He's picked up double-digit offers, and a lot of those offers are coming in from schools across the country. And he's right there on the precipice, right, of starting to add what we consider the elite offers. He's already got Oklahoma State, North Carolina. The list goes on and on. Mississippi State, NC State. Mississippi State knows a thing or two about quarterbacking underneath the direction of Mike Leach. So, I mean, the offers are going to come for this guy, and he's only going to get more attention as he continues to grow and mature each and every season. He's 6 foot 175 now. He's already big enough to play at the next level. If he grows a couple inches, I think you're talking about this guy in a couple years being Elite 11 type of quarterback.
Yeah, but I can't have him sign with Mississippi State because then it will be another Texas quarterback named Sawyer going to Mississippi State, and my brain is not going to be able to handle that. So I'm going to need him to go somewhere. I don't actually mean that. Go where he wants. Let's.
It's funny. I guess it's funny a little bit too to see where that coaching staff likes to look for its quarterbacks. They don't have a hesitancy to come into this state and try to poach some quarterbacks. But SMU, TCU, Texas Tech already offered Anderson. They're going to certainly try to fend them off.
Let's round it all out with our recruit of the week. Our recruit of the week is going down to the 3-time defending 6A state champion Austin Westlake Chaparral to talk about their soon-to-be senior offensive lineman TJ Shanahan, who has got announced a top 5 for his recruiting. He is going with Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M, and USC.
Light work.
5 heavy hitters. He's and a guy who is the number 17 prospect in the DCTF Hot 100. We've got him as a DCTF 4-star, easy DCTF 4-star, and once again, Westlake's going to be loaded up front, and TJ Shanahan on both sides of the ball, I should say, and TJ Shanahan, one of those guys who is a menace in the trenches.
I love him because he's mean.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he might be the meanest. He might be the meanest offensive lineman in the state of Texas, and that's quite a compliment, right? Like, there's a lot of really great offensive linemen, but as far as like the top 100 is concerned, the top 4-star guys, he's probably the guy I would be most afraid of lining up against because he absolutely obliterates defenders. And just looking into this recruitment a little bit deeper, he's taken official visits to 3 schools: Georgia, Texas A&M, and LSU. They're all in the SEC, right? Mm-hmm. So he's really got a strong SEC lean. He's from Florida. He moved from Orlando when he moved into Austin Westlake. So he's really picked up a ton of offers from that part of the country. The move to Texas and picked up offers from this part of the country. So he's one of the most heavily recruited players in the entire country based on his offer list. I think he's probably got close to 50 offers by now or in that range. So everybody in the country has really been recruiting him and trying to get him on their commitment list. And I like the chances that Texas A&M has in this one right now. This is a guy who I think likely ends up stays in state. I think he likes Texas. And Texas A&M has done a really good job in his recruitment. So if you made me pick right now, like, Greg, where do you think Shanahan's going to go? It'd probably be A&M.
Well, and it's great. I saw Westlake 3 times in person last year, and it's crazy on a team like that when you see a guy get off the bus and go, "Oh, that's a big dude," because they're loaded with them. They're full of them. But he gets off the bus and you go, "Oh my, that's a monster."
No, he's got NFL size right now as a high school kid, which is shocking. Powers, it was great to hang out with you this week, man. Like, we had a good time. Did you have a good time in San Antonio?
Yeah, I had a great time. It was great to connect with some of the not only high school coaches that we get to see, out in the streets and at their games and all that kind of stuff. It was great to get to connect with some of the college assistant coaches and head coaches too. I personally had a really good time listening in on all of the college head coach press conferences. It really is, to me, a special time in Texas right now. Not only are we blessed to have some of the best high school coaches in the entire country, I think we're in a very sweet spot within the state as far as Texas college coaches are concerned. We not only have guys who I think are born and bred to lead winning football programs, which is really one of the most important parts, right? Because you don't get to be the coach very long if you can't win football games. But we also got guys who are decent dudes, and that's pretty cool to see up and down the line in Texas. To me, that was one of my main takeaways from the weekend.
He's Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter at NextLevelD1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. Powers, I miss you. Please come back to this chair next week.
Man, you're going to have to wait 1 week. Next week's Powers vacay week.
Oh, yeah. And he still doesn't know where he's going.
Sorry.
I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Bye, Powers. Have a great vacation.
Thanks. See y'all soon.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.